Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Michael Kamel. I am Director of Content for T3 Live, and I'm here with my good friend, Sami Abusaad, who is here to talk to us about earnings season because, as you guys know, we are starting to get a lot of fireworks this earnings season. We've had Netflix, we've had Tesla, and Sami is here to break down how he trades earnings, the types of things he's looking for, and we're going to go over two big wins he had this week because there's two specific names. You can probably guess them that were the big stories in the news this week, and Sami got them both. And do yourself a favor and stick around. Later on, we're going to show you a way to get Sami's earnings plays for an unbelievable price. So before we get into everything, before we start talking strategy, I just want to show you Sami's two big calls this week. The first was Tesla long, which he took early. On Monday. This was the first big hit of earnings season. And then today, he called Tesla short yesterday. So, it's an $18 a share overnight profit. I'm very angry at Sami because I am long Tesla and he neglected to tell me to short it before earnings. So I am in a lot of pain because Sami did not give me the heads up. So Sami, how are you doing today?
Doing wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, so before we sort of get into details of what names you're watching on earnings today, can you talk a little bit about how you approach earnings overall?
Yes, but before I do that, Tesla's going climactic intraday. So this would be a good exit if anyone took it short last night. It would be over 181.25 is the exit, and it actually is not a bad flip as a day trade. As a climactic buy setup over 181.25 on Tesla. So that's what I'm watching right now. So by the way, I think you said I called Tesla long. You meant I called Netflix long yesterday, and today Tesla short and IBM long. That's what you meant to say, I think, Mike.
Correct. Just so that there's absolutely no confusion. I might have stumbled my words a little bit, but yes, Sami called Netflix long for the win and Tesla short.
Sami's going to long, by the way.
Yeah. He also nailed IBM overnight. And it's interesting, Sami, because I know it seems like most of the time you're trading a lot of these oddball small cap and mid cap stocks I've never heard of. So what made you jump on Netflix and Tesla and IBM this week?
It's the pattern. Honestly, I never care what symbol I'm trading. It's just the pattern. I look at the chart, and if it looks good, I disregard completely the company that I'm trading. So oftentimes I know nothing about the company. I can't even say their name. I just know the symbol, and that's all I care about.
Okay, so in a situation with something like Tesla, are you ever listening to a conference call? Because I know the management basically ruined everything yesterday with their comments on the conference call. So are you paying attention to news at all, or is it just a bunch of charts?
No, I only pay attention to news for entertainment purposes only, meaning, just for fun. Sometimes I will tune in, or sometimes I'll read an article about the company or about Elon Musk, but it doesn't, the chart is the only truth that I follow. Everything else is subjective. And so everything else actually only helps to make me biased, to lose my objectivity. So I only really pay attention to the chart. That's how it should be anyway. But I am always curious about financial news. So I'll find myself while having lunch or something, go on Bloomberg and just scan the news articles and read the ones that I'm interested in, or go on Twitter. But other than that, it has no role in my trading at all. The news absolutely has no role in my trading.
Okay, so you never see Apple unveiling a new product and you say, I'm going to go buy some Apple?
No, because most of the time, by the time when they unveil it, it's when you actually should get out of it or maybe go short. That's the buy the rumor, sell the news event that happens all the time. It's exactly what happened with Bitcoin, that's what I have here. Bitcoin right now is trading at 39,700, and it actually looks lower. It still looks lower, and it was at $49,000 not even 2 weeks ago when the news when the SEC approved the ETFs, the spot ETFs for Bitcoin, it shot up to 49 and then it immediately collapsed because finally, the news is out. So the people that have been buying it on the, in the hope that the news comes out, once the news is out, no reason to be in it. The news is out. The trade has come to fruition, so to speak. It's also the same thing. We saw the same phenomenon happen with the Tesla. When Tesla unveiled their Model 3, it was very well received, but Tesla had been rallying for a month straight up almost. And when they showcased the car, and again, it was very well received. People loved it. And yet the stock dropped. So, why did it drop? The car was great. The presentation was amazing. Everything was good about it because, again, buy the rumor, sell the news. It had been rallying for a whole month in anticipation of that news. And once the news was out, then the trade has come to fruition. So, no, when I see the company showcasing a product, or even if I really like it, I know that that's usually it's time to sell, or it's too late to buy at least. So okay, does that make sense, Mike?
Yeah, but when there are things like all the Bitcoin ETFs, does that ever at least put these things on your radar?
Yeah, but not immediately after the news. Like later on, sure, but the initial reaction should be negative usually. After a product is unveiled, or the ETFs in this case. So the initial reaction should be probably selling, not buying.
Okay, so earnings season is heating up quite a bit because as we just talked about, we had Netflix, Tesla. How would you characterize this earnings season so far overall?
So far, so good. I normally stay away from the name brands, like shorting them, especially such as Tesla, because over time the name brands didn't become name brands by gapping down on earnings. Most of the time they gap up over time. But in this case, things are following through, and I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. So I'm excited about it. I know earnings season started like a couple weeks ago, but it really doesn't get going until towards the end of the month, January, and then it lasts through the entire month of February. So we still got a lot to go, and a lot of plays to take.
Okay, so does the overall market environment, does that affect like how many longs and shorts you're looking for?
It does indirectly, not because I want it to, but because naturally when the market is bullish and I'm scanning for plays, all I'm finding are the ones that look good are going to be bullish, and the ones that like I'm not even, usually when the market is bullish, I can't even find shorts, even if I wanted to short. So I find myself naturally playing with the market without knowing it, like without necessarily going out of my way to time my plays with the market. It's just that when the market is bullish, all I'm finding are bullish stocks. When the market is bearish, all I'm finding are bearish stocks. So definitely the market impacts what I do, for sure.
Okay, let me ask you a little bit of a silly question, because Sammy's earning strategy, he opens the trade at the close and he closes it at the open. So with Tesla, he was shorting it right on the close, and then he was covering at the open. Are you paying attention to what's happening overnight, or do you just close the screens and wake up to a surprise?
Yeah, I try my best not to even look at what's happening in the post market, because like I said, it only helps to, like, I know that getting out of, like, the first time I traded in the post market, like exited my earnings plays in the post market, I noticed that I closed out of 15 trades. It wasn't over one day, but over like a month or so. I closed out of 15 trades in the post market, and then 14 of them I would have been better off holding until the next day. So that's when I learned not to pay attention to the post market and wait until the open the next day. Now at the open, I don't actually close the play at the open. if I'm in it short and it takes out the first 5 minute bars high, so it goes higher. So at 9:35, if it takes out the first 5 minute bars high, then I get out of it. But like Tesla today, it never took out the first 5 minute bars high. So in it short still. I'm looking to flip it as a day trade if it takes out 180, 125, but it hasn't done so yet.
Okay, so then Tesla's good for, I think, about 28 points so far. So yeah, so Sami is absolutely the champion of earnings season so far. So we know that with your earning strategy, you only use stock. Is there a reason you're not using options on earnings?
Yeah, I think I'm not an options guy, but if that's what you do, like I've always gravitated towards stocks. Never been an options guy. I tried options for like a month in my entire life, and the account went up 25%, I think, in a month. And then the next couple weeks, I gave it all back. And I said, you know what? I didn't like options, and now I like them even less. And so a lot of people play options to limit their risk. And so if you're good with options, it's great. But I'm not the best because I don't have the experience, and I feel like I'm pretty good sticking with equities. And so, I just stay in my lane, so to speak.
Okay, but you did get into cryptos. I don't know how long ago, but you've been in cryptos for the last few years. What made you go? What made you go there?
I had a friend that so in 2000, like early 2010 or so, I saw a billboard that said by the highway in Silicon Valley where I lived, that said like PayPal, that's old school, BTC new school, or something like this. And it caught my attention. I was like, what is that? So I looked it up, and the unfortunate part was at the time there were no charts for Bitcoin. So I stayed away from it. And then in 2012, which was like 2 years after I saw that billboard, a friend of mine, before he came over to my place, he was coming over to have dinner. He stopped by and met with a guy off of Craigslist, and he bought 500 Bitcoins for $5,000. So that's $10 a piece. And he met him at Walgreens, and he transferred the Bitcoins and gave him $5,000. And he gave me 10 coins for $200, but he gave them to me for free. And then all of a sudden, because there were no charts for it, I still wasn't interested in Bitcoin. All of a sudden, Bitcoin shot up to 1,000. And so I sold half, and then I kept half, which is 5 Bitcoins. And there was only like 1 or 2 exchanges. And so I went with the biggest exchange, which was Mt. Gox. And Mt. Gox ended up getting hacked. And and I think 800,000 coins were stolen, Bitcoins. And they recovered 200 plus thousand. So I'm still owed, a portion of my Bitcoins from all the way back in 2012. So again, initially, I didn't really get involved because I couldn't look at the chart of Bitcoin. But after that, once we started to get platforms and charts for Bitcoin, I like it because it's like stocks. I mean, it's lovely. It moves 24/7 and it's very volatile, unlike Forex, let's say. So I've been involved in Bitcoin honestly since basically 2012.
That's crazy, because if somebody was trading 500 Bitcoin in a Walgreens parking lot today, that would be a $20 million transaction. And yeah, we've heard stories about, there were those guys, I think in MIT, that bought like a pizza for 100 Bitcoins because I think
5,000 Bitcoins. Yes. The first transaction was one pizza for 5,000 Bitcoins, I believe. Yeah.
Which I think would be $200 million today. If
something like this. Yeah.
If my math is, wow, that's kind of
yeah.
We all have our market regrets. The one we let go too early. But yeah, giving away 5,000 Bitcoins for a pizza, that kind of takes the cake. So for you, when you're actually trading cryptos, we actually haven't talked about cryptos that much. I've been talking to Sami forever, and we've never really talked about cryptos. Is it any different to you than stocks, or is it just another thing on a chart.
It's exactly like stocks. I mean, there is absolutely no difference. The only difference is crypto trades around the clock, so it doesn't, we don't get gaps with stocks. And this is what I like about stocks, is they gap. So yesterday we traded the sorry about that. It's in my notebook. We traded the KURA long, KURA, and that flew. Reason we traded it at the open is because and it made I made $8,000 out of it, and the reason why I traded it is because of the gap. So I like gaps a lot. With crypto, I don't have gaps, but I have a lot of volatility. So that's what I like about crypto.
Okay, yeah. For Sami, it is all about the action. So how active are you in crypto?
Very active. Every time there's a pattern, I'm trading it. By the way, that Tesla trade is triggering as a long intraday.
It's triggering long. Okay, so
that's why I'm talking, but I'm a little distracted because I have my
guys
over here, and no problem at all. But just letting you know that what I'm doing live here. So yeah, Tesla's triggered long.
Yeah. Okay. So let it be known right here. So Sami, it was 181.25. That was the level you gave earlier.
Correct.
Okay, everybody.
Correct.
So you just saw it happen live. Sami Abusaad, he just gave you Tesla's at 181.70. Sami just made you 45 cents a share. So if you put $1 million in, Sami made you, $4,500. So yeah, so Sami, he absolutely is the maestro. You just saw it right in front of you. Sami called Tesla live. So what other names are on your radar? I can bring up some charts.
Yeah. So right now there's some day trades setting up. We closed out of the COLB. So that was a short. Closed out of it already. Humana was also an earnings play last night, so as a short, and it gapped down. That worked, but it already trailed. And in terms of shorts, I don't have much that I'm watching right now because it's lunchtime, lunch doldrums. But in terms of earnings plays, I really like BAH, Bravo Alpha Helium, as an earnings play for tonight. So I'm planning on doing that unless it does something that I don't like between now and the close. So I'm planning on doing the BAH. Intel is pretty good, I think. T-Mobile.
Okay.
I think
sorry, Sami. So for BAH, is that a long?
That's a long. Yeah. I like it as a long.
Yeah, I saw it pulled back to the rising 20. See, I am paying attention, Sami. Okay, what other names should we be looking at?
I also like INTC long. I think it's not bad. The 20s on the daily chart is pointing is sideways, the 20-period moving average. So that's not great, but I think it's not too bad. We'll see how it looks between now and the close. But I'm eyeing the INTC. I'm eyeing the TMUS, T-Mobile, basically.
Okay. So Intel and T-Mobile both longs?
Yeah, the Intel I'm not as sure about. I'm gonna see how it looks between now and the close. But the TMUS I'm probably gonna the TMUS and the BAH, those are the ones that as of right now I feel sure about. And I decide the last hour of the day. I also like NSC, which is a railroad company. NSC, not bad as a long. Short, I don't think I have any good shorts for today. Do I have anything short? I don't think so. I think some of the banks look okay, like Visa and American Express. Those are credit cards, obviously, but I think these look okay. And then Colgate looks okay long. They're all long. They're nothing short here. Levi maybe long, but the ones that I like the most are the BAH and the TMUS. Those are the two that I'm probably gonna play.
Okay, you heard it here. T-Mobile, TMUS, and Booz Allen Hamilton, BAH. Those are Sami's selected longs. And since Sami he fed us Tesla and Netflix this week, I advise you to pay close attention. And let's just see where Tesla is.
Tesla has come back down to the entry, but the stop is under lower day. So we'll see. We'll see if it works out. I hope it does.
Okay. Full disclosure, I am long Tesla again, as I said before, and I'm very upset. So so again, we brought up before why you focus more on these sort of small stocks. Is it just because they're more volatile?
Honestly, I focus on charts. So whatever the chart gives me, I mean, whatever, if the big names have good charts, I will take them. But I find that the big names, like the blue chip stocks, they're very efficiently run. I mean, they don't. So what, as a professional trader, I try to take advantage of whenever I see some kind of inefficiency in the chart, like the stock is too extended, too oversold, or too overbought, or is giving a really nice pattern. With the big names, I feel like a lot of times they're really efficient, so they never get out of whack too easily. But I don't discriminate if they give me a setup, even if it's even if it's Apple, even if it's whatever it is, I will play it. There are certain sectors that you kind of try and stay away from because they don't move very much. That includes real estate, utilities. I don't know. Even the banks sometimes don't move all that much. But other than that, I mean, I'll play anything and everything that moves, that looks good, irrespective of the company, of what the business they're in. I'll just play it. But the small caps definitely have a lot of volatility, so that's what I like about them. Tesla's moving back up. But again, the stop is low today. We'll just let it play out and see if it works or not. We'll see.
Okay, guys. Okay, so before we let Sami go, we want to share with you a way if you want to get his earnings trades, including the ones he will issue today, if you sign up right now. We have a special offer. It's good today only. This is a $49 deal. It's a $424 total value. You get 30 days of the Strategic Swing Trader newsletter. That's his daily swing ideas plus his earnings plays, which could be anywhere from like 3 to 20 in a day. So if you are looking for earnings ideas specifically, this offer is amazing. Plus you get the earnings engine course, which gives you full training in Sami's 6 favorite earnings strategies. You can get this at T3Live.com /SA, T3Live.com/SA. And again, this is good today only. And I will pop the link in the chat. And you will get all of Sami's earnings plays for the next 30 days. Plus you get the course, which you keep forever. Or, as long as T3 is around. So I'm going to pop the link out in the chat. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Sami loves answering questions. He loves teaching you guys. So if you have any questions, pop them in the chat. Okay, we got the link out there. Just checking the chat. Okay, back to us. Okay, so from a bigger picture perspective, in 2024, has anything changed for you versus what we were seeing at the end of the year?
Not much, but the market confirmed by continuing higher. It confirmed that the pop we got in October, from October through December, is legit because the market followed through on that move. It didn't fade it. The IWM is what's looking the best to me at the moment. It's starting to coil a little bit. So if you look at the monthly, it's getting ready for a breakout. So I like the IWM a lot. The Qs, which is the Nasdaq, and the SPY, which is the S&P 500, are very, very bullish, but they're pretty extended. And so the IWM, I think, longer term is going to be the place to be. But we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. All right. So it seems like everybody just turned. I mean, it seems like everybody just turned on the small caps because at the end of the year, everybody was saying small caps, small caps, small caps. Now it's the time, and tech sort of took over. Do you think tech? I feel like this is a bad question to ask you because of the way you view things, but do you think tech has gone too far?
I don't know. Some of the names have gone too far. Like, Meta's an open position. I think it's gone a little too far. NVIDIA gone a little too far for now. So, the big names, I think, yes, have gone a little too far. But But some like AMD, has gone a little too far. But some of the less known names are probably okay. For example, Twilio looks amazing long term. Some of the social media names like Snapchat looks good. Pins looks good. Wix, Wix looks good. Frog, FROG looks good. I mean, those are all tech stocks, small cap, that really look good. But the main names, I think, they lead the market. And since the market has been bullish for quite some time, those have gone probably, that's not where the money is. Probably. So, but there's a lot of tech stocks, small cap tech stocks that I love. I mean, a lot of them I'm already in, and there are open positions in the newsletter. But the big names, I think for now are probably, have gone a little too far.
Okay, guys. Okay, so let's remember what Sami gave us today. Remember, Tesla long over 181.25, stop at the low of the day. Intel and BAH for earnings today, and IWM for the long run. Do I have it all correct, Sami?
You missed TMUS. I think my favorite are the BAH and the TMUS, and Intel, I'll be watching it between now and the close.
Perfect.
As well
okay.
as NSC, by the way. NSC, which is a railroad company.
NSC. Okay. All right, guys. Again, if you want to get your deal, if you want to get all of Sami's ideas, t3live.com/SA, t3live.com/SA, and we will be back with Sami next week. Always one of my favorite people to talk to about the market. So, Sami, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Mike. Take care, everybody.